Hey Choi, this is Terry Bradley here, simpleswingthoughts.com, and here's your swing analysis from me. Now, I've got you on the left side here, and on the right side I have two tour pros. And what we're going to do, we're going to break down your swing both from the front view and the down the line view. Now, overall though, Choi, it looks like you have a really, really good swing. I'm going to run your swing in fast motion here. Um, I
Go.
like I like the way you take it away and bring it back. It looks really, really good. Really good. Now, even down the line, let's take a look, swing down the line in fast motion. Good contact. Looks like you hit the ball really, really well. Um, Now, let's look at just a few things. Now, sometimes when I see swings this nice, this good, it's just microcosms or just micro uh, moves that could really improve your scoring. It looks like you strike the ball really well. Uh, and what I'm going to introduce in the 2-6 um, membership here at Simple Swings here in the next week or so, maybe a month or so, is we're going to fine tune these little micro moves in your golf swing, okay? And then that way you can start scoring. It doesn't look like you have a problem with striking the ball. Now, let's back you up here, and there's only one little thing I can see from here. The setup looks good. Um, Looks like you got your weight kind of on evenly distributed on both legs. Um, it looks like you have a decent forward shaft lean there. Let me back you up a little bit more. Um, okay, yeah, it looks like you may even have a little more weight on your back leg. I can't really tell. But if you look at the pro here, notice at his address, he's got a little more weight on his left leg. Now, the reason why we know that, Choi, I'm going to just draw a line. And again, this is just very, very minute details for you. Um, you see how he has just a little more slight knee bend in his right knee than you do? You see how your knees are kind of bowed out just a little bit? Um, you may want to just tuck that right knee in just a little bit so you can get more of a swing path around your body. Okay. The reason why I say that is when we get a little bit further into your swing, I'm going to show you what I mean. Because the Tour Pro here, what he's able to do now, since he has a slight knee bend in his right knee, a little more weight on his left leg, now his body can swing around. Okay, he can swing around his spine a little bit better. Okay, now let's go to the top of your backswing here. Let me get rid of this. Go to the top of your backswing now. I like the way you extend the club back. Good extension. Right there. Okay. Um, Looks good there. And we're going to take the Tour Pro back just a little bit. So you all are basically in the same position here. Nice extension on the arms. Now as you come to the top of your backswing, again, everything looks good. Um, Now it looks like, again, you see how your knees are kind of bowed. I'm going to show you something here. And it looks like you're a relatively young guy, so I know that younger guys can get away with it. A little more flexibility. Good shoulder turn. This left knee's kind of bowed out a little bit. Now notice the Tour Pro. I'm going to draw some lines here. Notice the Tour Pro now. His left knee kind of goes back. Now what that does is that gets him a little more width on the backswing. It kind of releases his hips a little bit, takes a little pressure off his back. Notice your left knee here. It's kind of bowed. It's just you got more resistance here in your hips and your shoulders than the Tour Pro here. Okay, that's okay. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. We'll just have to see how that works on your downswing, because what happens is when you do that, when you've got so much separation between your hips and your shoulders, you really got to make sure that you drop your arms, because any movement with your hips from here is going to cast your club on the outside. Let me show you what I mean. Um, so here at the top of the backswing, notice as you come to the top, I want you to notice your head position up here. I want you to keep an eye on this image in the background, this overhang divider here. Notice when you come to the top of your backswing, notice how see how your head just oozes forward just a little bit. You see that? You see how it just moves forward just a little bit? That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I can see in your swing, because I think what happens is, because you're, this is just my opinion, because your left knee is bowed out, okay, it causes your head position to move forward just a little bit. Okay, everything looks good. Straight left arm. You've got your weight back on your right side. Wrists look good. Good left wrist positioning. Again, you don't need to go parallel, so you're stored for power right now. The only thing you're losing in power is again, that, see how the head just oozes forward. See how you kind of ooze forward just a little bit. What that does is that brings your head position out of place. Now let me draw some lines here. Because what happens is, because your head moved this way, okay, you want your head to move back a little bit. Now what does that do? Well, that basically sets all this into motion, sets your hips into motion, it sets your feet into motion to really get power back here, so you can release through there, okay? So you can get to your left side. Now let me show you the Tour Pro here. Now notice the image in his background. I want you to notice this this positioning. So I'm going to move my scrub line down just a little bit. Okay, now again, he's at the top of his backswing. Okay, very important. So as he gets to the top, notice his head doesn't ooze forward. Okay, you see, it kind of drops a little bit, and it kind of gets further behind the ball. Okay, again, yours moved forward a little bit. His dropped down and moved behind the ball further. Okay, so he didn't. In other words, his head, and I know you know what I'm talking about. His head did not move this way at all. His head basically dropped just a little bit, not a lot. But as he gets into the ball, his head's going to even get further behind his ball, because he was kind of set up like you. Um, his head wasn't positioned behind the ball. It's set up as much as I would like, but that's what's happening there. So as you come into the ball, now as you come through the ball, you see how you're moving forward. Now your energy's kind of dissipating out here to the left too soon. And so as you come down into your impact, your slot position, you kind of lose some shaft angle here. Let me show you what I mean. So as my pro gets down into his positioning, you see where your arms and his arms are about the same right now. Move that up. You see where, and your shaft, the picture on your video is kind of blurry, but you're kind of losing your wrist angle. The reason why we know that is because, again, because you move forward, you've lost maybe an inch or two on your shaft angle, is what I could tell. And it looks like your shaft angle is somewhere in here, if I had to guess. Let me just draw a line. If I had to guess, your shaft angle is somewhere in here, okay? Whereas, see, his is still back here. So if your shaft was his shaft angle would be more here, okay? And that's simply because, again, you move forward a little bit off the ball instead of coming down and keeping your head anchored behind the ball. Very important. But that's the little microcosm, the little micro moves that's going to make you a better golfer, okay? And then everything else looks great. Everything else looks good coming through the ball. You know, you got a good release, good follow through as you come up to the ball. Now let's move down here. Let's move down to your down the line view. Now on the down the line view, Choi, it looks like, again, you come off the ball really good. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, you come off. I like the angle. See how you're coming off. You're keeping the 144 angle between your forearms and your shaft. You want to make sure you keep that. Okay, so you come off the ball really good. Extend, like the way that shaft's extending on the target line. Now as you come up to your backswing, I want you to notice something. Now I'm not sure if this is the same swing or not, so I can't comment on that. I mean, as far as the top front view swing. Now, notice how the pro comes off the ball. You all come off about the same. Now, notice as he gets to the top of his backswing, I want you to notice the right elbow. Okay, your right elbow is kind of flying off to the right. Okay, you're kind of losing that that connectiveness, you might say. Notice how the Tour Pro's elbow, it's out to the right, but yours is out a little bit further. Okay. Now, what's that going to do? Well, simply, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I mean, A lot of other tour pros do that in the old days, like Jack Nicklaus. He had a flying right elbow. But notice again, it's the head positioning. Now, if you're going to do that, see your club can't come over the top. Okay, see how I want you to notice your club head right here. Okay, if you're going to do that, you've got to make sure that you get down and drop that club straight down. You can't bring that club over the top. See how it's coming over the top a little bit, and you're kind of casting it down. Well, it's because the right elbow is out a little bit. If it was tucked in a little more, let me just draw a line for you. If your elbow was just tucked a little bit more to your right side, you could drop it a little closer to your right side. Okay. Now notice the tour pro. I'm going to draw a line. So notice, since his right elbow is not out as far, he can drop it a little closer to his body for a little more connection. Okay. Now let me show you what I mean. So again, we looked at you. You're a little bit. See how that club head kind of comes over the top on your downswing? See that? So now, see that club needs to drop straight down, whereas yours comes out a little bit. See, it comes out a little bit, and then it comes down. Notice the tour pro. He's over here. His elbow is tucked in a little more. Notice how, see how his just comes straight down? See how his elbow just drops straight down? It's in that, and again, this is just maybe millimeters and maybe centimeters, but it's really going to help you to strike the ball even better and hit more of your lines when you start to score, when you want to get those birdies instead of putting for those bogeys or those pars. So again, the tour pro, his head comes straight down. It's a straight drop. And again, I want you to see it for yours. Yours is a little, see how it's a little over the top. See, top comes over the top a little bit, and his again comes up. His comes straight down. See, straight down. Okay. Now, what happens is you come over the top a little bit. Now you're trying to save it. Now you get a little stuck right here. Okay. Decent positioning. Like I said, you're almost there. You're a little stuck right here because you came over the top. I want you to notice the tour pro as he comes down. Put you on the same position. You see how his club is more out in front of him? The reason why we know that is because I'm going to stop him right there. Get that scrub line up. The club's more out in front of him here because his right elbow drops straight down, whereas when you came over the top just a little bit, your right elbow is kind of stuck on your hip a little bit right there. Now, I really can't see it because of the shadow, but I can tell where your arms or your elbows kind of stuck right there versus his being a little more out in front. Okay, and that's going to cause impact to be a little bit more solid. But the point with your swing is you're getting good ball contact, good ball striking. You may not be hitting your target line as much as you would like for the scoring. Okay, so take a look at that. Take a look at this, Choi. Please send in another swing. I'm going to actually put your golf swing on a golf pod that me and you can communicate personally, one-on-one, and I'll show you what I mean when I send you the link to your analysis. Okay, but overall, good swing. Looks like you're hitting the ball really well. Okay, take care. Tee them up, hit them straight. I will talk to you soon. Again, comment on your golf pod so we can see what happens and see if we can get you scoring now versus ball striking. Okay, talk to you soon.